Hi, this is Lindsay Van Nett with her Quality of Character presentation on fairness. Do you live your life with fairness in mind? Do you practice fairness all hours of the day or only when it will benefit you? I believe that most people are attempting to be fair in any situation they may find themselves in. If you are not gaining respect from others, if you are treating everyone differently. Fairness defined for me is when you are acting without any bias towards a person or a situation. You are treating everyone the same and attempting to be as impartial in your behaviors as you can possibly be. As they say, got fairness? When you are a coach or teacher, you hold the lives of young adults in your hands. Some of us are in positions where cuts have to be made and where numbers needed to play are small. As coaches, we need to make our child and selection process for individuals as fair as possible. Being objective and giving all athletes an attempt to make the team earn playing time will earn the respect of all involved in the program. There should be conversations that are had with all athletes about where they are currently, what they can do to improve, and the amount of playing time they should expect to see on the court or field. Allowing them opportunities to improve and to get into a game situation will also allow trust to build, since you are showing equality to all. Education for your coaches and staff will be very important in making sure that they can be fair in all situations related to your program. There are many different words that can be used instead of fairness. The words listed on the PowerPoint are a few that are most commonly used. Also listed are the antonyms, which are the complete opposite of the word fairness. Fairness is important to all people. When you treat everyone fairly, you will earn others' love, respect, and trust, and those people will want to continue to be a part of your life in the future. When others feel they are being treated fairly, they are more likely to treat you the same as well. The Golden Rule states, as in our Ethics Book 101, is to do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Decisions you make will be understood and not questioned. The children and the athletes you interact with daily will develop trust in you and will work hard for you. You will be more empathetic if you practice fairness in your life. You will feel a sense of peace if you take any subjectivity out of your decision making and make those decisions honestly. There are several quotes listed that mean a lot to me about fairness. Fairness is explained well by Eleanor Roosevelt. Justice, such as fairness, cannot be for one side alone. They need to be equal for both. Just like the Golden Rule, you cannot ask others to do something that you yourself will not be willing to do. Make sure you understand that not everyone will act with fairness in mind, and that will help you keep your peace of mind with yourself. Like the quote states, just because you don't eat the lion, don't expect it to not eat you back. There's some fun quotes out there about fairness as well. Dr. Seuss said it best. When you are at the top or in a position of power, you need to remember there are others under your supervision that have rights as well and should be treated like they do. What James talked about in the Bible with fairness is that we need to treat everyone the same regardless of what they look like, what they possess, and what they can do for us. We become just another judge and jury that thinks differently about what people look like and have, when really everyone should be treated the same. We are all people of this world created by God and should be treated fairly and without any judgment. Fairness is not something that always happens in sport. In the passage on the screen, we see that results cannot be guaranteed because there are outside factors that can influence the outcomes. We need to take advantage of opportunities that arise and pray for God to bless us on the day of competition. There are many different passages in the Bible that reference fairness. My favorite is Colossians 4:1, where we are taught to treat everyone justly and fairly, knowing we also have a higher power to answer to, and that they will treat us justly and fairly as well. We all have someone to answer to, and making sure we are all being treated equally helps to ground us. When we make that decision to treat others fairly, we can live honestly with ourselves all the time. When I hear the word fairness, Ohio High Schools Athletic Association pops into my mind. The association has, over the last few years, created some initiatives to help create fairness across all sports and genders. It starts with the Inside Out initiative. What this does is eliminates the focus of that win-at-all-cost mentality and changes the focus to the overall experience for the athlete. The goal is to learn more about what is going on in their world versus the numbers on the scoreboard. This will show more of the importance that sports can have in their lives well past high school and college. Our new transfer bylaws have become stricter. It's harder for athletes to bounce around schools based on baseless reasons for leaving. There are loopholes to the law that legitimately apply, but the students that apply to have to get approval from the governing board of the state. In 2014, a competitive balance was established to limit how private schools recruit students to their campuses. When a new student enrolls in the school, it actually comes in and is counted as 3 people instead of just 1. If they attend the feeder school, that does not apply, but if they are coming out of a different high school, the rule is 3. This allows public high schools to stay competitive. We now allow out-of-season instruction on our athletes. This helps bridge the gap on athletes that cannot afford to play any club or AAU ball and allows them to get proper instruction from proper coaches. In the video on the screen, Queen Elizabeth states to her advisor that she will not want to punish any Catholics without a reason in her area. Her advisor wants to take care of them before any uprisings can begin, but Elizabeth stands firm that she will not do that to her people unless an uprising actually happens. The video Remember the Titans is a great example of fairness and how they were able to overcome so much in a difficult time in American history. During that period, African Americans were not permitted to have the same things as whites. Coach Boone treats all of his players exactly the same and wants the same of his coaching staff. He wants the players to treat each other as equals, so he forces them into situations where they are forced to be equals. It creates a brotherhood that is not able to be penetrated from the outside world. Some activities for fairness that you can do in the classroom. An example would be take one and pass it on. What you will do is put fewer amount of candy in your bag as there are students in the class. As the bag is being passed around, the students will discover that there are not enough pieces for everybody in the room. Once this happens, a discussion will take place and some questions will be asked. Things like, what should we do when not everyone has a piece? How did the people not getting the candy feel? And is there another situation you know of where people felt left out or rejected will be discussed. On our athletic teams, at the beginning of our season, we have a sit-down meeting with our entire team and we talk about rules for the season. There are a few rules that the coaching staff believes firmly and are non-negotiable with the athletes. But the athletes are then allowed to pick and choose rules that will help them in running a smooth season. They are allowed to pick the consequences so it applies equally to all girls involved. There are some discussion questions that can be had with students or athletes. One of the best questions on the slide is the last one on the bottom. The team deserves to know everyone's feeling along with coaches on the subject of playing time. This question will really tell you whether or not people are on the team to just be a part of the team or if they're there for the greater purpose of the team depending on the level of play you are at. In conclusion, fairness should be practiced by all. It should be something that becomes a quality of life for you in your daily life and in your teachings or coachings. Fairness will gain respect of people involved in your life and will allow athletes to trust you, and you will earn their love for a lifetime. You will make things easier for them, and you will make you a more trustworthy person to them and someone that they will want to stay in contact with for the remainder of their lives.